From the Blue Door in beautiful Culver City, Arts Up LA presents
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up, LA?
What's Up LA?
What's up, LA? What's up?
What's Up LA?
What's up, LA?
What's up, LA?
You okay?
Yeah, why?
What you doing there?
I found out this weekend that there are other amazing programs and that Arts Up LA isn't the only provider of amazing art programs for veterans. And I was just inspired to get moving.
Okay, but are you gonna do the show like that?
I can. But it might be kind of distracting, right? Yeah, you're right. It's time to get serious. The first thing I'm going to say is that I couldn't be more impressed by how people in this country respect their military.
Oh, no doubt. We take it seriously. But tell me more about this show you went to.
I was lucky enough to attend an event at the Wallace Annenberg Center for the Performing Arts, and I was introduced to Diavolo and two of their extraordinary pieces of art and movement, Trajectoire, performed by their company of dancers, and S.O.S, Signs of Strength, where military veterans and civilian dancers come together to present a powerful piece exploring the veterans' experiences. It's more than a performance, it's a movement program that helps military veterans restore their emotional, mental, and physical strength.
This seminal piece from Diavolo stems from nearly 6 years of creative and therapeutic workshops that have helped hundreds of veterans all across the United States. Now really, what did you think of the show?
Here's the thing, Brian. I loved it so much that I lack the words. I lack the words in Spanish, in English. It was breathtaking. And because of that, I'm going to let Judy Welch, the head of Arts Up LA's Veterans Empowerment Theater program, give you her thoughts on the show, since she and a bunch of other members of our VET program were there.
Hey everybody, Judy here from the Veterans Empowerment Theater. I have to tell you about last night. Let's see, Angela, Pat, Kathy, Irene, and I went to the Wallace Annenberg Theater to see the production called Diavolo and the Veterans Project. I have to tell you, this production was off the chain. It was awesome. These veterans got up there with normal dancers and performed on stage. I've never seen a stage production like that before. It was so heart-wrenching, it was heartfelt, and you felt the pain of what the veterans and everything that they went through while they were serving, and their stories. And you know, a lot of people do not understand or know what we went through as a vet, but to see it up on stage and how they performed and how they told their stories, and we were able to meet the director, Jock, afterwards. Oh my gosh! I so look forward to seeing more of their productions, and hopefully we can work with them as well. All right, everybody, have a beautiful and blessed day.
I love finding other groups with similar missions in helping give vets a literal platform to be vulnerable, take risks, and share their life experiences through art.
Speaking of which, I've got some exciting news here at Arts Up LA. Spectrum News recently reached out to us because they wanted to do a feature on one of our vets, Les Probst, and talk about his new play, Volunteers, which is currently being developed. They sat in on a table read of the play, and guess who we invited to be a reader for it? It was me. And also Judy, who is always front and center in promoting veterans in the arts, and a handful of other wonderful readers, including some very talented vets.
I love Les. His comedy improv performance was hilarious. And for those of you who don't know, Les is a Korean War veteran, and his play shines a light on the difficult topic of sexual assault and sexual harassment in the military. The play will premiere here at the Blue Door this fall.
Now, if you feel motivated to help out with our VET program, remember, you can make donations and get involved on our website. Let's check out the piece.
When you ignored my complaints of harassment, I felt betrayed.
What did you want from me?
How about some justice? You were our leader. You were supposed to do the right thing.
Terry Fallon Linseth served in the Army for 27 years, but on this day she is serving female veterans as she does a read-through of a play called Volunteers about sexual assault and harassment in the military.
He was relentless, and each time it was more difficult for me to fend him off.
Terry joined the Army in 1978 when she was 17 years old. She performed tours in Germany, South Korea, and Bosnia. She started just as the Women's Army Corps was disbanded and was in one of the Army's first co-ed training groups.
I loved the mission. I loved exercising principles of leadership. There was a lot I loved about being a soldier. It was just the other guys interfering with that.
She says from the very beginning, women were not protected from inappropriate and sometimes violent treatment by their male counterparts.
Young soldiers were left in charge of us. Bed check became groping, some rapes, some assaults, and that was throughout that experience.
Volunteers is written by Lester Probst, an 89-year-old Korean War veteran who fought from 1953 to 1955. Women did not serve in the military in his day other than in the capacity as nurses, so he didn't know much about what they did or their experiences until seeing a performance by veterans in 2018.
They had a program for veterans, and they had about 5 or 6 women, and I believe 1 or 2 men, veterans, to tell on stage at the Geffen their experiences. And every one of the women was unhappy with what they served with, primarily because of sexual harassment. And that disturbed me.
During the pandemic, Lester discovered the Arts Up LA Veteran Empowerment Theater, a performing arts program that provides workshops and performances that give service members a safe environment to voice their own heroic stories, personal tragedies, triumphs, and experiences through theater. Volunteers will feature an all-veteran cast and will be performed at the Blue Door Theater in Culver City this September.
She's making a terrible mistake.
She made a mistake.
Lester was drafted into the Korean War, so when he decided to address systemic sexual abuse in our now all-volunteer military, he put a spin on the play's title.
What I did is I spelled in capitals the volun-tears, and I spelled tears, not T-E-R-S, but T-E-A-R-S, because a lot of women tell these horrible stories, and you've got to feel for them. And feeling brings tears.
Women who have served in the armed forces have sometimes been known as the invisible veterans, so Terry appreciates that Lester is providing a platform for her sisters in arms to be seen.
To think that a man of his years was touched enough and motivated enough to write a play about this, I'm just humbled and I'm grateful.
Ryan, I'm a little sad
Why, co-host?
because award season's over and I didn't win anything. Do you enjoy award season?
I don't really pay attention to all that, honestly. Except when I know representation in film and television was the big winner.
Exactly. Set you up right, didn't I?
You totally did. Nice work, co-host. As I was saying, representation and visibility triumphed, personified in Troy Kotsur and the cast of CODA, or Child of Deaf Adults.
In the movie, directed by Shan Hader, Ruby, played by Amelia Jones, is the only hearing person in her deaf family. When the family's fishing business is threatened, Ruby finds herself torn between pursuing her love of music and her fear of abandoning her parents.
The movie has been nominated 133 times all around the world, including a Best Picture nomination at the Academy Awards, and has won 55 awards. The cast won at SAG for Best Performance by an Ensemble in a Motion Picture. Deaf actor Troy Kotsur won a SAG Award, BAFTA, and just won an Oscar for his performance.
His journey to triumph passed through unimaginable tragedy and hardship. But after so much struggle, he's emerged a happy warrior for the deaf community. He is the first deaf male actor to have ever been nominated for an acting Oscar.
If you haven't seen the movie, it's definitely worth your time. And we've included a link to their acceptance speech from the SAG Awards below. It's absolutely worth checking out.
So yes, award season is over, but theater in LA is going strong. And today we have a very special interview with a playwright that we kind of had to interview because apparently he knows some people on the show.
It's all about who you know.
Our very own Brian Caldwell will be presenting his original play, One Way Ticket to Oregon, here at the Blue Door on Friday, April 8th.
The playwright's name is actually B.C. Caldwell.
Cool, sure, thank you, that was very useful. Anyway, we decided to do a little serious journalism and find sources to confirm he's as talented a playwright as he is a What's Up LA host. So, check out our interview with some of the team of One Way Ticket to Oregon.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with an up-and-coming, incredibly talented new playwright, B.C. Caldwell.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm really happy to be here and share my art.
Absolutely. And what?
Brian,
What?
wait a second. We're going to have a real interview.
What are you talking about? Hey, what gives, bro?
I said serious journalism.
Fine.
I am sitting down with the director and part of the cast of One Way Ticket to Oregon. JJ, you've been helming and leading this project for a couple of years now.
I was part of the initial reading and then the first run, and then, we had a run that was 3 days from opening when the pandemic came. So it's great to finally have the wheels in motion where we actually are running and rehearsing, and have a fantastic cast, and it's wonderful to be able to build in person and explore and get back to telling stories.
What is so important to you about One Way Ticket?
These topics all, the dealing with death with dignity, the racism that's brought up in the show, the sexism, all of these issues that are happening are very much things that when you read it, you'd like to be like, why would we do this? This is so yeah, we're all past this. And then, unfortunately, I feel like every year it feels more, every month that goes by and every news story, they feel more relevant to me. It feels like this topic is more, these are more things we need to be discussing than I thought we ever had to.
So many people are becoming more aware, and unfortunately, it took a pandemic to bring the awareness to the forefront. Everybody was home, for instance, when George Floyd's situation happened. The world saw what was going on, and people were like, I didn't know this was still happening.
The other big topic, and for me personally, I think I understand it even better now than I ever have. The point is, when we really look at, end of life care, when we look at how people are treated when they're elderly, when they need help, it's such an incredible mess. And I was, I knew about it, but then, during the pandemic, I lost my father, and having to, who worked for IBM for 40 years and has, allegedly great legacy insurance, and he's a veteran, and so you should have that program to reach out to.
Right.
And instead, there was nothing. It's so difficult, it's so challenging, it's so hard to get care, and then when you have people in care, it's hard to get a good quality of care, and this just whole, what do you do? It's not a big national topic, it's not, these people by this point in life have kind of lost their voice. They're not listened to by politicians. They're not listened to by, So the whole concept of end-of-life care seems to only matter to people who are dying.
Right.
And people who are immediately dealing with the situation.
That's what we talk about in this play, and I think that's one of the strong points. She's just taking everything into her own hands. So she's going to be in control, until the very end. And a lot of people don't get that opportunity to do that.
A line that really affects me in the play is there's just a simple line that says, how are you going to do it? And she says, you're going to starve yourself to death? It's like, oh, my mother did that. And that's the only thing they have left to control. Right. You're in such a hopeless situation that the only way you can take control of your own destiny and what happens is to simply make a choice to not eat.
One Way Ticket to Oregon is a window into a family struggle with terminal illness. The play about a proper Southern belle with a rebel heart is a touching and gripping story about how we are all tested by unexpected tragedy and life-altering choices.
The play runs from April 8th to April 24th, right here at the Blue Door. So get your tickets in the link below. Seriously, Go right now. Get your tickets in the link below.
Well, Brian, I wish you and your cast tons of broken legs, wrists, pinkies, arms, elbows.
Oh, how about just break a leg?
Fine.
Speaking of which, why do they say break a leg?
Honestly, I don't know. Let's ask our resident theater expert.
Contrary to popular belief, the term break a leg does not refer to an actor actually breaking his or her leg in some strange moment of ironic reverse voodoo, but rather refers to the small concealing curtains on the side of the stage, also known as legs. Now, when an actor gave a particularly stirring performance and the audience rose to give them a standing ovation, the curtain was repeatedly opened and closed, putting pressure on this system and potentially causing the legs to break. Thus, the good luck term was coined before each performance: break a leg. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
And now we know. Well, Nina, I really actually have to go to rehearsal.
I'll see you at the show, and I'll see you guys next month.
Until then, I'm Brian Caldwell.
I'm Nina Ransell.
And that's What's Up.